What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs Series, Round 8. Colored light heavyweight champion Lee Anderson and Kid Norfolk would have their rivalries, and they would swap that belt back and forth as they were the only light heavyweight colored champions in the lineal line. Now I want to discuss that fight between the two of them right here on the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs Series. Round 8 of the colored lineal line light heavyweight championship. Lee Anderson. He was born July 17th, 1889 in Georgia. He would fight from 1914 to 1929. He stood 5 foot 10 inches. And he became the colored light heavyweight champion with a TKO over Kid Norfolk in the 9th round. Lee Anderson was a phenomenal fighter. Now he would have his wars with Kid Norfolk. December 20th, 1921. Kid Norfolk would face Jamaica Kid for the vacant title. Lee Anderson had hurt his hand and couldn't defend his title, so it became vacant. And on December 20th, 1921, Kid Norfolk would face the Jamaica Kid, and he would defeat Jamaica Kid, and Kid Norfolk would become the new colored light heavyweight champion of the world. Let's take a look at Kid Norfolk's phenomenal career. Kid Norfolk, William Ward, was born September 20th, 1895 in Norfolk, Virginia. He would later move to Baltimore, Maryland. Now, Kid Norfolk would stand 5 foot 8 inches and weighed 165 to 185 pounds. He was managed by Leo Penn Flynn. Leo Penn Flynn would also manage Panama Joe Gans. Now, Kid Norfolk lost 15 bouts out of 103. He would fight all comers, all weight divisions. He never received a title shot of the world. Kid Norfolk was born on Norfolk Street in Belmont, Virginia. He moved to Panama as a teenager. He was given the name Kid Norfolk after the street he was born in. Kid Norfolk retired in 1926 at the age of 33. Now he would have phenomenal fights with fighters such as Jeff Clark. He would defeat him in 20 rounds. Arthur Perkley, he would defeat him in 20 rounds. Bill Tate, he would knock him out in 20 rounds. These fighters outweighed Norfolk 12 to 15 pounds. In 1917, he would face Billy Miss, Jeff Smith. Jeff Smith was a phenomenal middleweight. Harry Greb, middleweight champion of the world. Jack Blackburn, outstanding lightweight and welterweight. He would later train the great Joe Louis. Jamaica Kid. Jamaica Kid would face Kid Norfolk for the colored heavyweight championship that was vacated by Lee Anderson. James Tut Jackson. Tiger Flowers. Tiger Flowers was middleweight champion of the world when he defeated Harry Greb in 1926. He would later lose that title to Mickey Walker. He would face Porky Flynn, Clay Turner, Blackfoot Simmons, John Lester Jackson, just to name a few. He had well over 100 fights. Majority of those fights were by the knockout route. Here you see Kid Norfolk standing with Harry Greb. He would defeat Harry Greb. He would never lose a championship bout since he laced on a pair of gloves. Kid Norfolk would knock out Tiger Flowers in one round. June 22nd, he would knock out Jack Blackburn in 4 rounds. Kid Norfolk has a record of 5-0 against champions. He beat them all. And he destroyed the majority of the colored fighters at that time. In 1921, the Kid got his first break at the Pittsburgh legend, Harry Greb, the Pittsburgh Windmill. Back and forth, what a slugfest. With Greb down in the 6th round, it was some fight. He would later face the Jamaica Kid, March 2nd, 1922. Norfolk called out 6'2", 230 pounds, Harry Wells, while he himself stood 5'9" and weighed 185 pounds. He would call out Jack Dempsey. An offer was made. A challenge was rebirthed. He refused to face Kid Norfolk, did Jack Dempsey. The following fight would be Tut Jackson, Jamaica Kid, and Tiger Flowers. Tut Jackson he would face 3 times. Jamaica Kid 2 times, and Tiger Flowers 1 time. Phenomenal fighter was Kid Norfolk. He would face Harry Wills, Panama Joe Gans, and Soldier Jones. And funny as it said, they would all be seen together later on in life at Grubb's Boxing Gymnasium on 116th Street in Harlem. And there you would find great fighters such as Sugar Ray Robinson, Spider Valentine, Danny Cox, Sandy Sadler, Jimmy Carter, Billy Arnold. Phenomenal fighters. So Kid Norfolk would then face Lee Anderson again, May 9th, 1922. And they would have a war. Lee Anderson would defeat Tiger Flowers for the vacant title that was left over by Kid Norfolk. And then Kid Norfolk, May 8th, 1923, Springfield, Ohio, he would once again regain that title and become the last colored light heavyweight champion. Phenomenal schedule that these men kept up. They were known as the second group of the Murderous Row. Phenomenal fighters was Lee Anderson. Kid Norfolk controlled the colored light heavyweight division. Salute to these great fighters. It's the Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series saying, great fighters will always be mentioned on his channel. Until next time, round 9 will cover the middleweight champions of the colored division. See you then. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Salute to my subscribers. This has been fun.